Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the PopDrop podcast. That's right, this podcast isn't dead. This channel isn't dead. I don't know, it seems like whenever we start up this podcast, it's now about starting it up whenever it's someone's birthday. Because this is my birthday special. This episode is
Happy
about
birthday
me
to
now.
you.
This is no longer a pilot episode. This is no longer Michael's birthday. This is my birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes,
Happy
thank
birthday,
you.
dear Colin.
Thank you.
Now get back to work!
Okay, I get it. I've been working. We've been working. We've been doing a lot of shit on PopDrop, alright? Alright, so since the last time we have done the PopDrop podcast, we have done a massive recording session around Michael's birthday, which we did that from like March, and we had enough videos to last us until almost July. And now the tables have turned because Michael over here came to my house by surprise, and he stayed the weekend here. So we took the time to basically spend so much time and effort on recording so much PopDrop. We haven't even gotten to the editing phase to even working on the episodes, which even the background footage for the YouTube version of this podcast, just as an example, here's footage from an episode of our Let's Play from Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules that will be coming out later this year. We have done like a huge fucking episode binge. Like I've counted, like we've probably got like around 24 episodes done. We're going to be focusing on college, so we wanted to really get an episode binge because typically we post weekly, and on occasion, on a lucky day, we might post 2 videos in the same week, which so far this week, that's a no-go. So much shit has been happening. Like, even though I mentioned that we're coming back in mid-September, we had to change the date because of editing time. So we are going to be coming back on October 4th, where our next episode will be coming out at noon Eastern Standard Time, and all the other episodes will be coming out the following Fridays until we run out of episodes, also at noon Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I know I'm kind of just cramming a whole bunch of shit here, but I don't know. I can't think of so many things to say. This is none of this, what we're saying, is scripted. This is just me just kind of providing updates for the beginning for this podcast. I don't know. Like, what is this? Like the birthday podcast or something? Is the PopDrop podcast just biannual or semi-annual or whatever word means twice a year? I don't know at this point. This is the PopDrop podcast.
As you're speaking, I just can't help but look at Mr. Crocker, just how cringy he looks.
I mean, he looks... We talked about it on the episode where this footage is coming from. What I said was... The thing was, they got his 3D model accurate to the 2D character. That's not a good thing. His 3D model is looking janky and shit because the character already is janky and it doesn't work well in a 3D model. But I also don't want to refer too much to the footage because I just don't want to, I don't know, maybe just if someone just wants to listen to the podcast and not have to worry about looking at shit, just wanting to listen, I don't want to really refer too much of the footage. Just all the footage that will be in the background footage for this podcast is all episodes that we have previously recorded that have not been up yet and that are pretty much in the editing phase right now. Yeah. All of these episodes that we pre-recorded too were also right before my birthday. So today I'm 20, but yet in these 24 episodes, I'll basically be 19 until around like February or March of 2020. I mean, unless if we pre-record something to come out between that time. But I'm not sure how much we'll be able to get done. All right. So basically, I just tried to provide a whole bunch of updates for PopDrop, and I think now we can kind of just get more to the topic at hand, saying that, yes, this is finally my birthday. I'm finally 20 years old. God help me, I'm scared as fuck. I don't know what's happening. Everything around my life is changing. I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm going to a 4-year fucking college, and I am scared as fuck. And also later today, I'm going to a bonfire for my campus. So I'll be able to actually meet new people on my birthday. The timing could not have been better enough.
And I already started my first week of college the past week, and literally since this is being recorded now, and pretty much everything, the weekend that I came by here was pretty much Labor Day weekend because, we have off on classes that day. So, and also too as well, I also got a part-time job while I'm at school and as well. So I start work pretty much the following weekend. And I'm just God, pardon me. Just going to school again, living up at school, and also too, making money as well.
Yeah.
But also too as well, from where my school is to where Colin is, I pretty much drove about almost 2 hours to just surprise Colin and be like, "Hey man, what's up?"
You caught me off guard.
I did. Man, you are now 20. Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
It seems
welcome,
like
Colin. Welcome, Colin. Welcome, Colin. Welcome, Colin.
Yeah, now this is my time to shine. This is now the time in the PopDrop podcast where we're here for my 20th birthday. You had your moment, like I said prior. This is my moment for a 20th birthday podcast celebration, except for the fact that it's not the pilot episode. No.
And I already got you your gift. I got Colin.
Oh, yeah.
You want to tell them or you want me to?
No, listen, I done a good chunk of the talking, so I might as well give you a shot with saying what we got.
I bought and surprised Colin. I got him a golden wireless Nintendo Switch controller. And because I know, he's been getting all of his games ready because I know he wants to do stuff for his channel with this Switch, and also too we want to do stuff with PopDrop with them once we get all the technical and electrical shit ready.
Yeah.
But
we need plenty of equipment.
we do. And so since he got me a pizza plant and he bought me a microphone, which is still in my room, getting ready to be set up because I still have to get the equipment because this summer I was very busy. I did not have time to get it, but now that I'm working and I'll be saving up money, I'll be saving up to make sure one day I get a good computer, a great editing software, and then I will set up the microphone. It ain't going nowhere. It's going to be perfectly fine.
I mean, yeah, your sports...
Oh my God, why am I yawning so much? God
Yeah.
freaking damn it.
We didn't forget about the sports podcast that Michael will be eventually having
the sideline.
somewhere on PopDrop. I mean, I still have the ad somewhere on my computer for the image. I mean, even though I don't really like saying, "Hey, look at the screen" during a podcast, but I'll just say, here's a picture of the ad I'm talking about on the screen. There you go. Talking about the announcement for his podcast. All right, no, get it off the screen. Get out of here. Get going. But I think I said this during an episode too when we talked about getting the controller, where I was like, cool, I can now play my video games like Donald Trump in the 90s if he was born in the 90s, because he always loves that gold. But okay, but other than talking about people that can trigger the internet, it was really funny too at GameStop, because when we were at GameStop, one of the reasons why I was there was my aunt sent me a GameStop card in the mail. And they were having a sale for pre-owned games where it was like, buy 3 pre-owned games for $25. Buy 3 pre-owned games under $15 for $25. So I took advantage of the sale while also using this gift card. So I came out with 3 games and then 1 game that didn't apply to the sale. So I got 4 pretty good games I've been meaning to collect. And while we were there, right before we made the final purchase, there was a guy who was working, stocking up the figurines in the corner of the store. I don't know what happened. I don't know if you saw what happened, but, we saw the aftermath.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
We just hear, this loud boom and, stuff hitting the ground. And we look over, and the glass case for the figurines, the door is just glass and a handle. You just see glass, covering that section of the floor. And the guy who was looking at the floor, who was stocking up the figurines, it was just funny, just looking at the shocked expression on his face. Even the guy stocking the figurines had no idea why the door shattered. Just, that sucks for him. I honestly felt bad for him that he had to deal with it. But at the same time, I also didn't want to go over there because I think I was wearing flip-flops at the...
Bruh.
Yeah. Oh, well, I got to censor that little phrase I said there. But I was wearing flip-flops at the GameStop. And I would have wanted to help, but I didn't want to get glass on my feet. And I mean, he managed to sweep up like the glass in no time. So I mean, at least it wasn't a total hazard through the rest of the time we were there, and it wasn't in the way from, us with the cashiers. But that was an interesting thing to witness. Just seeing a random door practically explode in the middle of a GameStop. Yeah, God. I mean, I've never really had a moment like that at a GameStop, just seeing an unexplainable moment. I mean, just be careful. I don't know what else to really say with that. Just be careful working with something with glass. I don't know. Like, what can I really take away from that? Just the unpredictable can happen. But yeah, taking advantage of the sales, got my new GameCube controller.
The glass was destroyed just like when we destroyed those robots in the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom game.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God!
Speaking of which, okay,
the frig?
Who keeps texting you?
No, it's actually my dad.
It's your dad. Okay. So do you want to pause the podcast and talk to your dad, and then we could resume in a sec?
Nah, I can wait.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Forget him. Hi, Steve. No offense, Steve, but one thing I'm kind of in disbelief about, which, I mean, I'm fine with saying this detail, because, I mean, this is not really, anything that's considered, this is a spoiler. By the way, this is the last thing we were recording so far for a while for PopDrop. So, basically, this is us technically from the future, from after making a whole binge worth of videos. We finally wrapped up SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom and Fairly Odd Parents Break Into Rules. And let's not come up with ideas during the podcast, because I don't want to get someone's hopes up with talking about ideas for Let's Plays and then them finding out maybe that Let's Play won't happen. But Michael and I, pretty soon at some point, we're going to be re-entering the planning phases for the next playthroughs that's coming up on PopDrop. So far, we actually finished Let's Plays on the show. I mean, yeah. Can you believe it? We actually finished not one, but 2 Let's Plays. And, I mean...
on the same day.
Except let's just pretend Ed and Eddie never happened. I think we can agree with that.
Ed and Eddie's dead.
I mean, do you want to talk about what happened with Ed and Eddie Let's Play?
Yeah, sure.
Because this is not us being lazy. Because, I mean, Michael can explain for us why we stopped making the Let's Play for that one.
Okay, so pretty much... the software that we use pretty much to play these games is the simulator and
emulator.
What?
Emulator.
Oh, that's right.
I'm only saying that because I think someone might correct you on that.
Yeah. So we had the emulator, and I don't know why I said simulator. I don't know. I thought it was something else.
It's close enough, I guess. But
yeah,
you can continue.
So pretty much, we are at the 3rd level of we are at the 3rd level of the adventure games, which was, if you guys never played Ed and Eddie the Misadventures, it's the one where Ed, Double D, and Eddie were trying to rush to the candy store to get Jawbreakers because they were free, but the store was going to close. And then once they got there, Eddie had an allergic reaction because the Jawbreakers, instead of was made with powdered sugar, it was made of foot powder. So yeah, that's pretty good and pretty edible for children. So pretty much, because of during the game, after that, when we started sneaking Eddie back to his house without getting caught and being seen by children because his face was all messed up from eating the foot powder Jawbreaker, the emulator starts crashing and we can't play the game, so we've tried to see if we can restart the level, see if we can do it again, but we've tried several times that we're just gonna have to cancel this Let's Play because the emulator and the game are having bad connections and very bad conflict. So
we couldn't figure out the reason for it, and I mean, I don't know if there's something wrong with the file for the emulator, that I don't know, but it was always weird because it would always be right after the cutscene that you would think the game would start, and either just the frames would the video or just the game would just stop moving, and then you'd probably just think okay, give it a second, maybe it's loading. And then you get a crash report showing up on your screen saying oh, sorry, your Dolphin emulator doesn't happen to be responding right now. And then you'd think, okay, maybe we got to try that again. We would try it again, and it would just never work, no matter how many times we tried. And I mean, maybe I should have saved some.
And my dad's calling me again.
All right, I'll finish up what I'm saying, and then we could pause the podcast and then meet back in a second, okay? Well, all I was gonna say was.
Why don't I step out and take this real quick?
All right, well, okay. So what would happen was I kind of wish we still had the footage for it, but what I can really say what happened though during the. Don't worry about that, Mike. It's fine. Just. If I wish I kind of had the footage to show you guys, but during that situation, I deleted all the footage showing what happened when the game would crash. So it would just, I think we tried like 3 times. The game would crash and crash and crash and crash. And then we were just like, you know what, fuck it. This is a wasted effort, and we're probably going to have to continue it in the future. And then at one point, when we thought that day had finally came, then what ended up happening was you'd start the game, you'd be at the main menu, you'd start a new game, you would not get anything. You would just get the loading screen, and it would be like 50% done, and then it would just stop working. And it just was relentless to deal with. There was nothing you could have done about it. Just, basically, it just kind of just felt like we were fucked, and there was nothing you could have done about it. And so we kind of just gave up on that Let's Play. And, I mean, are we ever going to finish the game? Honestly, we hope we will, because that was the first actual game we started PopDrop on. Our very first episode was pretty much an episode of that game, of, the Ed and Eddie Misadventures. And the only game we've technically finished at that time wasn't really a Let's Play, but it was a PopDrop battle of Shrek Super Party. But other than that was all we pretty much had for a while, and then we hopped right on to SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and we managed to get that done. So yeah, we're not being lazy with the misadventures, it's just that's happening, and even to this day, we're still kind of trying to fix it. So I think, as of right now, I'm going to pause the podcast for a little bit, because I don't want to keep talking without Michael, him being on the phone and everything, so we'll see you guys in a few seconds. All right, we got Michael back. He's off the phone. Now you can do the podcast. So I think back to the whole, birthday episode and shit. It feels weird being 20. Off the bat, I struggled to sleep last night. Because it's just it's one thing having a birthday. And I mean, I've heard so many people say shit like, oh, well, don't go around saying you're old or something. And I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to say. I know I'm not old. I'm not going through, a fucking quarter-life crisis. It's just... It just feels like when you have your age in the teens and then going into the 20s, that already seems to already have a feeling of, more responsibility in its own, It just seems like your responsibility increases just saying that you're in your 20s. So that was just a weird thing for me to come to the realization about. I can't imagine if I had that reaction last night, what's going to be for me when I turn 21, where it's great. Now I have, now, other than being able to do the fun shit, being able to buy alcohol and, being able to buy alcohol and going into bars, then I'm also able to go into jury duty. Yeah, because everyone loves jury duty. But that in itself came to the realization, I have less than a year when I have full-on legal responsibility as an American citizen and all that shit. So it's just... America! There's just all of this processing that's been happening with me with all this shit. And I don't know. Everything just feels weird. But, I mean, to get into less of, a freak out or, an internal crisis about becoming another year older... One thing that totally, blew my fucking mind was just, obviously, when your birthday comes around and, your family wanted to ask you, oh, yeah, what do you want for your birthday? I made a little Amazon wish list of just a few things I wanted for my birthday. And I don't know about you, but do you ever kind of just feel guilty sometimes making a birthday list?
At one point in my life, I did start to become feeling guilty.
It's just because it's I don't
Because when you're a kid, not to mean to interrupt you, but when you're younger, you don't really think that way. You're thinking oh, it's my birthday, where's my presents? I mean, but once you get older, then you don't really expect much. I mean, because I mean, when I turned 20, I didn't expect anything from anybody, especially from you when you got me that microphone.
Yeah.
But, like, you know.
And that was an episode of its own of the podcast that you could check out.
But, like, I feel like, you know, certain, like, I think, like, after you reach, like, I don't know, maybe 17, that's when, like, it starts to die down of, like, always requesting for presents. Because,
that hit me earlier.
Yeah, because I'm not saying it hit me. I'm saying for people that I know, it like I asked people that question, and they said like 17. But for me, honestly, I think I stopped probably when I was like, I don't know, 15?
I mean, that was roughly around like the same age as me. But it's like, I feel so bad making this like Amazon list. And it's like, I know people see this list and are not expecting me to be like demanding, being like I want this, I need this, and you better get me this. And I mean, like, you know, I'm just careful in general. What I didn't realize was, because lots of times, like around my birthday, a lot of friends and family give me like Amazon cards. So what happened this year was like, I didn't get anything on the list. I got something better that I honestly was not expecting, because technically where PopDrop is filmed, because PopDrop for the most part, like I'm the guy that pretty much does almost everything for the channel, and we have 2 spaces in this house where we produce PopDrop. The room where we're in right now is my bedroom, which I kind of refer to the section where we are in my bedroom right now as the quote-unquote studio for my channel and PopDrop, which is where we've been holding a good majority of our episodes. And another space where I pretty much run PopDrop is we have a space in the basement where we have some of the video game consoles, and I set up my game captures there, like what we did with Metroid Blast. And, you know, that in itself had its own equipment and, you know, everything. And what ended up happening was I wanted to get a new capture card because I gave mine away because I had a newer model of that same capture card, not knowing that it's absolute horse shit. So that fucking set me back tremendously. And so shoutouts to Nightwolf from Nightwolf's Den, because we've been streaming Persona 5 on my channel, and he let me use his Elgato for the streams, and I have my heart set on trying to purchase an Elgato. So with all that aside, what I was not expecting to come for me on my birthday was, and I mean, this will be really great. I mean, this won't really make a difference in PopDrop episodes, but it will make a difference when it comes to hanging out in that extra space where we just hang out for PopDrop. I was not expecting to get a new TV, which actually the photo of me with the TV is the thumbnail for this episode of the podcast. And I mean, it is a fucking, like, it's not even set up yet. It's just a much bigger TV than the one that we had previously. It is like 55-inch, you know, AI TV. You know, there's a microphone in the remote, so it could do like voice commands and stuff. And it's able to do shit in 4K. That is fantastic, because I have a PS4 Pro that I don't have hooked up, that I could totally hook up to this TV and just take advantage of playing games in 4K. I have never, ever, ever, ever done anything in 4K before, and I am honestly extremely thankful that I got something like this amazing, because I was not expecting to get something like that for my birthday at all. I am blown away. And I mean, even Michael over here saw me open it up too.
Yeah, I did. I didn't even know about it either, and I'm just seeing that. I was like, wow. And that's a gift that you can't complain about. Like,
I'm not going to complain about it. I'm extremely grateful. And I mean, it was even like before we started recording the podcast, you know, like I brought it up to my mom, just saying like, I feel very thankful that I have this like TV now. Like, this is great. This is fantastic. And she was saying that like, my stepdad went as far, which I'm only saying stepdad. I mean, I could say Jeff. Just, you know, he doesn't really want to. He just doesn't want like me. I don't know how to say this. I'm not trying to make this awkward. It's just more like he just kind of feels awkward being in like the public side of social media. So I'm just saying Jeff. No pictures or anything. Just Jeff. He wasn't gonna be like, oh yeah, just get this TV from like a BJ's or something. Like I'm doing all this research for a good TV that is, you know, good for this and that. And he did. And I know him that when he researches, he goes like really deep with his researching. Like he is like a workaholic with this stuff. So as soon as I heard that detail, I knew this item had to be great. And even I found the item to be much better than when I first saw it. And I mean, I am honestly extremely thankful for that, because I'm not gonna talk about personal information right now on the podcast. It's just, it really, like, I've been in a thankful mood, and I've been going through a lot of ups and downs earlier this year, without saying anything private. It's just, I've been going through so many like negative moments in my life throughout 2019, and you know, my mother and stepfather have been like there for me throughout all the hard times, and you know, I'm definitely thankful for that. And I mean, it just, I don't know what else. I'm just kind of speechless. I don't know what else to say. Just, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to say. Like, I'm at a loss for words with trying to express how much of a grateful mood I am in for now. And I mean, you know, I just kind of wanted to also share that detail on the podcast, just to preserve a positive memory, and just, you know, just, I don't know, just preserving positive memories just to look back on for when I'm older, or maybe just for something for my kids to look at in the future, because maybe I might do something like that for them in the future, or I might do something, you know, grateful for my family in the future for helping me out through some tough times I've been going through. And I think that's why my 20th birthday so far has been feeling like the most special one to me. And even, you know, this podcast episode is being filmed on my birthday, September 2nd. I'm making that clear. If it's not out, it's probably going to be out on the exact same day of my birthday, making that clear. Just, I don't know. I know I'm doing most of the talking. It's just, this is just something I've wanted to talk about for a long time.
Hey, it's your birthday, man. This podcast is your birthday, so
yeah. And I mean, yeah, it's just all this processing stuff. You know, I was gonna make a Jack's Cast where it was just me being solo. For those of you who don't know, I have my own personal podcast on my channel that's not really PopDrop affiliated. It's just so that if I wanted to make a solo episode of a podcast, then I could do it alone, because I don't allow individual content on PopDrop. I feel I only want collaborative content on PopDrop, just to make that part clear. So I don't have to worry about my own guidelines biting me in the ass. Yeah, so honestly, I guess no Jack's Cast talking about my 20th birthday. I guess this podcast will be the one talking about my 20th birthday, because honestly, I talked about all the points I wanted to share on that Jack's Cast. So, yeah, I mean, that's just unbelievable for me that I'm finally 20.
Just so you know, always remember, whatever happens in life, your mother and your stepfather, they love you.
Yeah.
And just be blessed that you have them in your life.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Of course I am.
I know you are, but I'm just saying, always remember when you're having your down days, whatever happens in life, it could be anything. Failed a test, or maybe was late for an appointment. It could be anything. Just so you know, just remember, they'll always be, that you got their shoulders to lean on, and you got me to lean on too as your best friend. Well,
thanks, man. Honestly, I can't wait to see for the future in general, for also like what PopDrop has in store, because this also feels weird to me, because another reason why I've been kind of so deep about this shit is, I mean, I like how I'm saying deep about this shit and you're seeing manure trucks from the SpongeBob game on the screen. It's just that when I started YouTube, it was not too long after I hit 13. I started YouTube on October 20th of 2012. I've spent all of my teen years being a YouTuber. That's weird for me to think about. My whole teen years, I've been like doing something that's been developing my career path, and something I'm trying to build a career out of. Like, this is amazing, because this shit that we're doing right now, this is just basically helping me study to work more on developing a career path that could probably get me to work on more shit like this, or maybe not. But still, I'm always going to be doing this. Like, I came to the realization I can never truly quit making stuff. Whether if I stop making videos as much, I'm always going to be making something. Like, whether if my channels are dead or not, they'll always produce something no matter when they come out. Either they might come out a lot, or they might come out like once a year or barely then. Like, because I feel like I can't stop making shit. Because I'm such in a passionate mood these days now. Like, just after all the, positive shit that's been coming towards me after all the negatives. So, I mean, just gotta really suck up all that positivity in the end. Yeah. I mean, personally, I don't know what else to say about my birthday stuff. Just all I can really think about right now is just there are also probably people having questions about the PopDrop podcast as a whole, because I know there are people that know that I have made the Jax cast, and I'm thinking while we're on the PopDrop podcast, oh, what is that? Oh, you got to call him back? Okay.
No, he's just texting me, because him and I were just talking about homework and shit for college, because, you know how it is with parents always looking out for you.
I mean, at least he cares. I think that's a good thing to say in the end.
Yeah.
He's doing it because he cares. Tough love can be annoying love.
Yep.
But just to answer a potential question, and I mean, like, I've heard it a little bit. The PopDrop podcast isn't dead when I made the Jax cast. It's just the Jax cast can be more in my own direction, because I don't want the PopDrop podcast to talk about negative things. I just want it to be focused mostly on the people who are involved with making PopDrop. Because as of right now, the only members are like Michael, Sarah, and I. But in the future, I'm definitely going to be like adding more people, whether they are just wanting to be an editor, to be another voice for PopDrop, or even both. Like, I just want the PopDrop podcast to focus on the members here on PopDrop. But since that, we can't always see each other a lot, the podcast, I gotta say, it's like a treat. It's like an occasional treat where us members can just come together, sit down, and, just have a conversation. The JaxCast, it's just either barely being alone or just with a guest of my choosing, which for the most part, it has been Nightwolf from Nightwolf's Den, but still, like, he's a great guest to have because he always loves to keep the ball rolling for a conversation for the podcast. Honestly, I think at some point we should also have him be a guest for the PopDrop podcast.
Absolutely. I also want to meet him and get to know him, too.
You really should. I think you two would get along.
Awesome.
And I mean, well, you have met before because I became friends with him through a college that we went to. But I mean, I guess you could actually properly meet each other when the time comes. So, I mean, so far, I think I'm actually feeling pretty satisfied with this episode of the PopDrop podcast. Is there anything you might want to say to wrap up?
Well, I will say this. Oh my god, I don't know what to say.
Are you blanking out? You having brain farts?
Yeah, well, it always happens when...
Are you reliving the Sandy level that's on the screen?
Kind of.
Okay, I mean, then I don't blame you.
I just want to say, that, oh my god, I don't know what to say.
I basically just threw you on the spot.
Yeah, no, well, listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm always awkward every time when we're doing recording sessions because I just don't know what to say or think. When it's like be off the camera, that's when I'm always talking and everything. But
I mean, we also didn't we didn't record any like episodes today while we're doing this, and I think, you haven't really warmed up by making episodes. Like, I think that's why you're also like that too. Other than me throwing you under the spotlight.
Well, I will say this. I want to personally... Now, I thought of something. I want to also personally congratulate an old friend of mine. His name is Oliver, or his YouTube name is ButteredToastComedy.
Oh, yes.
Listen, man, I know we don't keep in touch that much, but I just want to tell you, man, I saw your finale video of your goodbye to the channel, and, dude, I got to tell you, like, you are going to make great things at college, and I do believe that you will be a great filmmaker one day because you have such talent. And I remembered when we made that funny that funny film for film club for the film festival, Dollar Tree mac and cheese.
Oh, I remember you talking about that. I don't think I ever saw it.
Oh man, it was a funny skit. It was pretty much a comedy skit. He asked me if we could if I can be involved with it and help him out with it, and it was great. It was funny, and it was like one of my favorite memories I had with him. But Oliver, I hope one day we can do collaborations on PopDrop here, or if I ever decide to go back to my channel, we can do something together. But you got my Snapchat, man. Just
Honestly,
Snapchat me, and good luck at college, and congratulations to going to college, getting into a great school, and studying film. And I wish you nothing but the best, man.
And I mean also too, I think Oliver would make a great guest, on PopDrop. Because honestly, I've wanted to do a collaboration with him at some point. I know at one moment too we considered doing a Fortnite collaboration or live stream at some point, but I never fully followed up with that because I'll be honest, and I don't mind outing myself on a podcast. Sometimes I'm just socially awkward as fuck, and then I got nervous actually responding to it. So I'm sorry about that. But if you ever want to come onto PopDrop, whether if it is the PopDrop podcast, being a guest on PopDrop, or even wanting to actually join PopDrop, just let us know. Let us know. We would definitely love to hear from you. But I think we should just end it here. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I think that I think I said what I had to say.
All right. So I guess to fully wrap up, PopDrop, we're still on break, but we're coming back October 4th, 2019. Episodes will be coming out every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So far, I think we've made around 24 episodes, so we're going to be following that schedule for around 24 weeks. So we're basically having... We have enough episodes for the rest of the year and the first part of 2020. Oh, excuse me. Burped right during that... Oh, God. I had one of those acidity burps where it's like some shit just shut up in the back of my throat. Okay, we're gonna end the podcast because the back of my throat is burning like hell. So thank you guys for listening to.
Before
what is
we end
happening?
The podcast. Just want to play something real quick.
Do we not know how to end a podcast?
I just want to do this. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine. What is it?
It's your birthday today. It's your birthday.
Oh, of course.
Happy birthday. It's your birthday today.
You're playing a birthday song to wrap it up.
A very special occasion comes with once a year. Made even more exciting because you are so dear to us. It's your birthday today.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, now we can finally end this podcast. So this has been this installment for the PopDrop podcast, episode 2. Most likely, though, we'll probably ending up seeing you guys during Michael's birthday or something.
Oh, and I want to say this too as well.
Can we not end a podcast?
Just one last thing and I'm done.
Okay.
I know I already got you the controller, but I'll just say this. Just expect a very late birthday present down the road.
Okay, you don't need to give me additional stuff.
I'm just telling you this because you got me that microphone and you got me 2 gifts for my birthday. I got you 1. I'm getting you a second one once I start saving up. Just wait
so
for
you're
that.
Trying to make it equal value.
Yeah, because I want to make it up.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to force you to do anything. Just if you yourself are cool with it, I'm not going to stop you. Just don't go bend over backwards too hard on trying to find me the perfect gift to make something equal value.
Okay. Well, I'm just doing it because I love you.
I mean, listen, I love you too, brother. But yes. Okay. So now
We'll end it.
Okay. Nothing else, nothing more. Zip, zero, nada, zilch. We're done. This has been another episode of the PopDrop Podcast. And until then, we hope to see you guys next time. Most likely, I guess it might end up on Michael's birthday or something again. We don't know. But we hope to see you guys next time. Peace.
Wait! No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my fucking God.